though. The emails look like they're coming from the Indiana Office of Technology, Department of Insurance, and Family and Social Services Administration. If you get one of those, you are being advised not to open it and delete it. Those are phishing emails, and the scammers just can't wait to get a hold of your info. Always know what you're shooting at. It's one of the first rules of gun safety, and 41-year-old Brian Lehman of Elkhart County can testify to that after being shot in the head and neck Saturday by another hunter in Fulton County, who Indiana conservation officers say mistook him for a turkey. He was treated and released from the hospital, and the apparent mishap is still under investigation. The suspect in a 1982 cold case murder is finally sentenced. Jarrett Lewis reports.
Ronald Anderson is getting 18 years in prison for the murder of Clifford Smith in Seymour just over 42 years ago. Anderson was sentenced this week. Smith's body was found by trappers along the White River just north of Seymour about 2 months after the murder. Investigators determined that Anderson and Smith were at a residence together late one night on October 30th, 1982. The two left the home when Anderson had used a shotgun to shoot Smith in the head and kill him. Anderson was arrested exactly 41 years from the date of the murder. He then pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter this April, having the murder charge dismissed. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family-owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch-resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas, too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
What's happening, Chris? Looking at westbound 70 in Hendricks County, a vehicle fire is blocking the right lane about 2 miles before Little Point Road. This has a stop back to the moon all the way back past State Road 39, not quite to State Road 267, but that's where I'm getting out if I want to avoid that delay. US 40 looks like the better option right now. Northbound 39 backed up, not quite to I-70, but you will wait if you get out at State Road 39 and go north to 40 from there. North side, eastbound 465 crash before Allisonville Road, left lane block. Traffic stop to Westfield Boulevard. Inbound 65, stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies for the day today. We'll look for afternoon showers and thunderstorms possible with highs near 77. A scattered shower early, mild tonight with lows in the 60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! It's the Hammer and Nigel show. Big Nige is on another vacation, which means we go to the bullpen. We bring in Jeff Boggs. Jeff, my man, how are you?
I am doing great. You know, Nigel takes more vacations than Congress. So I was happy, Hammer, when you called me and you said, can you come in here for the people of Indiana, for the people of America? And you know what? I am going to be here, and I'm going to give it my all.
Because you're a patriot, that's why.
That's right, unlike Nigel.
That's right. I want to start with an update to a story. And Allison, I want to get you in the mix here, too, because for those who don't know, our producer, Allison, you also work over at Sullivan's Hardware and Garden. You're part of the Home and Garden show on the weekend. The man was sentenced for that road rage shooting where a woman who was working at the time at Sullivan's at 71st and Keystone was hit by a stray bullet. Now, this idiot freaked out during a road rage incident, and he pulled into, I believe it was the gas station, fired a shot at the wrong vehicle that had like a 6-year-old inside of it. And one of those stray bullets went through the window at Sullivan's Hardware and Garden, and it hit one of the women working, and she lost her eye. Well, the idiot that fired that shot, Marquesas Tipton, he has now been sentenced for 10 years in prison with another 3 years suspended, followed by 2 years of probation. Again, this was from the March 20th, 2023 incident that happened at Keystone and 71st, where the gunshots went across the street through the window at Sullivan's. So, Allison, let me ask you, do you think justice was served?
10 years. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I would really leave that up to, honestly, the victim, Susie, in this situation.
Do you know the victim?
So I know her. I have not talked to her about the status of today, but she is still working at Sullivan's, and she is the most wonderful angel of a human being. And yeah, she's still in great spirits after everything. So.
Okay. It seems like 10 years is a good sentence for this prosecutor.
I think so.
Because people have gotten way less for, I don't want to say harsher crimes, because a woman did lose her eye here, but for some grisly things in this city. We've always mocked Ryan Mears, the prosecutor, for being soft on crime, despite what he says. Nobody offers a sweetheart plea deal like that guy does. So I was pleasantly surprised to see 10 years in prison, even if there's a chance that it might be knocked down just a little bit.
Yeah, but 10 years? Did it always used to be like this? Like 10 years for shooting, even if you shot at the wrong car, you put someone's eye out, which means easily you could have killed them. I don't understand how that warrants only 10 years, especially when you look at like the January 6th people who still would be in prison had Trump not won the election. I just don't get how we're kind of accepting of, decades, 7 years, And
you're 100% right. And you are 100% right. And if you move to Indiana from another state, that reaction makes total sense. But when you realize the turd that you have as the prosecutor here, who just won re-election by a 60-40 margin not that long ago, you take what you can get, right? Like if you're a Colts fan and you get Anthony Richardson, who was a top 5 pick in the draft, and he throws 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 230 yards in a win. You'd consider that probably pretty good for him, but good by other people's standards, probably not. Does that make sense?
I guess a little bit. And when you're talking about aim in both of these, scenarios, it's terrible. But
correct.
I would never bring that up. But yeah, I don't understand how we have moved the goalposts so far that I get what you're saying. Horrible prosecutor, should be happy to just have a decade, but my goodness, he shot somebody. So,
and shot at the wrong vehicle where there was a child inside too. This could have been even worse than it was.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, a little birdie told me that in court, this man was still concerned about the person who got away, who he was intending on shooting at.
Now, the person probably did themselves a favor by coming back and turning themselves in.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he went on the lam and the authorities had to run a license plate reader, chase him down. He went back later that day, told police exactly what happened, and now he is serving 10 years. I say you take what you can get. I hate that it's that way in Marion County. Should it be more? Probably. But if you're telling me Ryan Mears gave this guy 10 years, I think I'll take it. I think I'll take it. Some more stuff happening around Indy here. Authorities are telling Hoosiers, do not fall for a scam that's going around on email and text messages saying, you were speeding, one of our cameras captured you. Because we now have speed cameras here in Indianapolis. Do not fall for that. It is a scam. The state of Indiana does not notify people about either unpaid tolls or speeding tickets through a text or an email. That's not something we do.
Yeah, at this point, I just saw a stat today. Every 3 seconds, somebody is scammed online. I don't know. I don't know what you can do. During my commute down here today, I come from the northeast side from Fishers, And it was, you could tell that people were scared of the cameras because we're going through the construction zone and you have one group of people who are like, let's just keep up with traffic because they can't send tickets to all of us. And then you have the other group of people who are like 45, better go 38.
Right.
And then you have that 1% who are just Dukes of Hazzard straight through at 75. So it has definitely come to my attention that I am nervous about getting a ticket in the mail saying I owe $150 or whatever.
But it'll be in the mail. It's not going to be a text or it's not going to be an email.
How many times a day now do you get something, either a call, a text, or an email? Is it multiple times a day?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like half of the calls I get now all say like scam or spam or something like that.
Extended car warranty, something about your property at a different address.
Right. Student loans, which I don't have any. I mean, they're all out there. And if you're somebody that's old, though, if you're like a grandma or somebody like that, you might not understand that this is all crap, but it is. So the state police, the IMPD, officials in the Secretary of State's office, they're all telling people, if you get something on a text or an email, delete it, ignore it. That's not how they collect money here in the state of Indiana for tickets and tolls.
So the safest, you're saying, your advice is the safest thing to do, even if you get anything saying you owe money for going over the speed limit, don't pay it.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
That is correct. Which brings us to great moments in scam phone call history. This is when Nigel and I were doing some production work in the back, recording some commercials. He got a scam phone call, and we decided, you know what? Let's call the person back.
Hello. Thank you for calling. Please stay on the line while I connect you to one of our representatives.
Hello.
Please note that your call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
Hello.
Hi, this is Hannah. How may I help you?
Yeah, I was calling to pay off my debt. Got a call about debt collecting.
All right, who am I speaking with?
This is Bueller. First name Ferris.
Interesting.
F-E-R. It's two R's.
Yeah, what can I actually help you with?
Well, no, I'm calling to pay off my debt. Would you like my Social Security number first or my credit card number first?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and give me your social.
Okay. 812-35-6537.
And you're not in our system, sir, so I hope you have a good day.
Scammer.
Great moments in scam phone call history, Jeff. That wasn't the only time we felt a little cocky, a little bravado, and decided to call these people back.
Hello?
Hello?
You.
Huh? That was it?
That's all we get? Call it back. Calling him back.
You.
Hey, man.
Great moments in scam phone call history. Did you ever play with a scammer, Jeff?
You know, I had a weird one. I started getting a call every day, and I didn't know if it was a scam or not. It was, you have a collect call from the Kern Valley Correctional Facility. Do you accept the charges? And for like I got it at noon every day for 3 days. And I said, no, because you don't know what it is.
Sure.
The fourth day at noon, it calls again. You have a collect call from the Kern Valley Correctional Facility. Do you accept the charges? And I went, who is it from? And it goes, beep, it's from Keisha. and I went, no. And so that was the end of it. I think it was a scam, but I always wonder in the back of my head, what happened to Keisha?
Keisha's probably still trying to call you every day at noon.
Could be.
Matt Bear is standing by. He's got to look at the roads.
North side crash eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road, left lane blocked. Traffic stop to Keystone Avenue for an 11-minute delay. Northbound 65 in Pike Township, stop traffic from 86th Street up to 865. In Hendricks County, westbound 70, this is vehicle fire cleanup in progress. It's about 2 miles before Little Point Road, and we have a backup about a mile mile, and then we're completely jammed after State Road 267 to State Road 39. I am bailing out at 267 and going north of US 40 instead. Inbound 65 slow, MLK to Meridian Penn, a 5-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Idiot of Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, cloudy skies, 73 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Gonna have some fun this afternoon. Gonna have some fun. We got Jeff Boggs here. We got a Pacers game tonight. And I'm also gonna give you a reason to drink tonight. You might not like it, but it's a reason to drink tonight. That is coming up next.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee you, if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
Hammer and Nigel here for our guy, Bill Demery. Not just our guy, he's our retirement guy. And if you're in your 20s or 30s, this stock market news might not be that big of a deal. But the older you get, it creates a little uncertainty in retirement. That's why it's important to have a pros pro like Bill Demery. Imagine if you invested $200,000 or more and received a 20% upfront bonus on your deposit, plus a return that's average 7% a year for the past 10 years, and your money being backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. That's how Bill Demery gets down. That's how he does business, and that's why he's the best. Learn all about it by calling Bill Demery today, 317-648-5120. Get an upfront 20% bonus on your deposit, a return that's averaged 7% a year for the past decade, and your money backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Robert Kirby reminds us of the homeowner's responsibility in protecting their heating and air conditioning investment.
Keeping the product clean is going to help out with your efficiency. That's filters, cleaning the outdoor equipment, even maintenance on the gas furnace. We recommend the gas furnace be cleaned every year, and it's going to help with the longevity of the equipment also. We want that equipment to last as long as possible.
Go to KirbyHeating.com for help. Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Got action on the track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway today. Gearing up for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is in for Nigel, and we're doing the big show out at IMS on Carb Day, Jeff. You need to come out and hang out with us.
I will. I'm going to be there.
Friday, May 23rd, near Gasoline Alley, Garage 23. It's the Hensley Legal Group Command Center, and we've been begging management and powers that be for almost 8 years now. Can't believe it's almost been 8 years we've been on the air here, but we've been begging to go out on Carb Day. And finally, I think they just got tired of, hearing us whine. They're sending us out there, and we're going to have a good time. So mark your calendars. We hope you guys join us and stop by a week from this Friday out at the Speedway. And then we're getting close, real close, less than a week away from our Tales from the Track event, presented by Relay Indiana, Spirits by Jack Daniels. You can still win tickets to our big event at the Ray Hall Performance Center with Graham Ray Hall. It's sold out. Really cool event. Go to the contest page at WIBC.com. Ready for some Pacers tonight, Jeff?
I am. But, boy, this is, here we are, like you're talking about the races coming up. It's the month of May in Indy, and the Pacers have a legitimate shot to win an NBA championship, but we have to close it out tonight. We were talking in the back with JMV, and it's like, this is what a championship team would do. You have a shot. Their team is a little bit hurt, but I'm sick of hearing people talk about injuries because we've had our share of injuries in the past. Let's just win. I don't care if it's by a last-second Halliburton bank three. Let's win, and let's see what happens. We're going to end up playing New York because Jason Tatum from the Celtics probably ruptured his Achilles last night, which is going to affect the Celtics in next year too. But if you give us Pacers, Knicks, Indy 500 month of May, it's the 90s. You know what I mean? I feel like I should take out a disposable camera and turn on some Third Eye Blind or something.
I'm going to put my shirt on backwards and go full crisscross because that was a 90s thing that people did.
Yes. No, it's as exciting as can be. It started last year with that improbable run by the Pacers, and it's like, oh, is this a fluke? And then you remember the beginning of this year, it's like, it was a fluke. We're 500.
Right.
And then since Christmas, this has been a championship team. We just have to finish the deal tonight.
If you don't win tonight, it comes back to Indy for Game 6 on Thursday, and then all the pressure shifts, right? Even though you're the scrappy underdogs taking on the 1 seed right now, if you have a closeout game in your building and it's Game 6, pressure's on you because you don't want to go back to Cleveland for a Game 7.
It is, but there's something about this team that I'm building confidence. Listen, I'm the sky's falling down all the time. The Colts draft, the Colts season, the Pacers. I actually feel like this team not only loves each other, but I think they're not going to let themselves lose 3 games in a row. And that's what would have to happen. So I feel really good about this. I just want to be healthy going into the Knicks series.
Vegas feels like Cleveland is going to push that to a Game 6.
Yeah.
Cavs are like an 8-point favorite tonight in Cleveland. Meanwhile, the NFL schedule is released in its entirety tomorrow. We're starting to get some drips and drabs of some games. Now, the season opening game that they always have on that Thursday is the Cowboys at the Eagles. But we do know one Colts game. It's not in Indianapolis. It's not even in America. The Colts and the Atlanta Falcons in Berlin, Germany. That will be November 9th, 2025, Colts and Falcons.
I'd just like to say, wie geht's, Colts? Es geht mir gut, danken, right?
I have no idea what you just said.
Listen, I want to go to Berlin. I want to brush up on my German and enjoy some schnitzel and some ale and take on those dreaded Falcons, because I think Penix will be the quarterback, old IU quarterback Penix, and should be a good game. But by that time, we're going to know if Anthony Richardson is the real deal or not. So we may need to be drinking a lot that game, or it could be really exciting.
Speaking of drinking, if you need a reason to drink tonight, happy 61st birthday to late night TV host Stephen Colbert. Yeah. Now, Mr. Boggs, as a former writer of a very popular late night television show, your thoughts on Stephen Colbert?
Well, I'll start by saying, for 5 years, I worked at 53rd and Broadway in the Ed Sullivan Theater, the beautiful building right there with the Late Show marquee. It's disgusting to me that is now the Stephen Colbert offices. That's where they had the vaccine dance. If you remember that, when he had people dressed up as shots,
yes,
promoting people to get the vaccine. And that may be the worst one, but a close second, they had a concert in Central Park a couple weeks later, and everyone had to wear masks at the concert, except there's video of Stephen Colbert and Chuck Schumer backstage without masks, with Appletinis dancing around like schoolgirls. So do I despise Stephen Colbert? I do.
It seems to me Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel have sacrificed trying to be funny and trying to make people laugh for the sake of their craft because they want to be invited to the cool political parties. Yeah. They've chosen that. They would rather give up ratings, success, and making people laugh in exchange for having a mask on and talking to Kamala Harris.
Right. When people ask me all the time, they're like, who's worse, Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert? And I'm like, that's like asking what's worse, gout or lice. So to me, they're both horrible. And it does beg the question, like, late night TV is dead. Greg Gutfeld is the king of late night TV now, and his is a news comedy show. I think Greg does a lot of great stuff. But to your point, yes, instead of making people laugh, they want them to hard applause with the chin out. It's and so, they basically killed late night TV.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
We get swept away in May, right? I mean, it's great. I love it. There's this huge race, playoff basketball, 1,000 things happening. We cannot forget to check on and upgrade our financial portfolio. Matt Bear here. Hey, I'm talking to Trajan Wealth. Trajan Wealth, I really like them. Trajan takes those few extra moments to get to know you before customizing that tailor-made financial portfolio for you. Call 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your first appointment. It's free. It's like getting a second opinion. The markets are unpredictable, a little bit crazy even, and a full review, the second opinion on your portfolio can set your mind at ease. Provide a little peace of mind, helping us get the most out of May in Indy. Call today, 317-480-4040. Or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
During much of Indiana's history, communicating on the telephone with the deaf or hard of hearing was nearly impossible. Friends and loved ones couldn't stay in touch, so the hard of hearing became isolated. Today, those with hearing loss have equal access with the captioned telephone from Relay Indiana and can keep their independence. Relay Indiana allows a caller to read what the other party is saying. This advanced technology keeps Hoosiers connected so that everyone can contribute to Indiana's productive future. Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
Many nonprofits struggle with staffing issues. But through the Senior Community Service Employment Program, or CSEP, 501(c)(3)s with limited budgets can get cost-free supplemental employees while helping train people 55 and over for a new career. Trainees are motivated, reliable employees, and their wages are completely covered by the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. To learn more, go to backtowork.dwd.in.gov. That's backtowork.dwd.in.gov.
I'm a proud owner of B-Window.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
I'm a proud B-Window owner.
When you work with a local, employee-owned home improvement company like B-Window,
Quality comes first because your home improvements are a reflection of our business. And for a limited time, we're extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to be.
Trust me. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Why he's still under observation. Showers and even a few thunderstorms popping up, especially in the north part of the Indy metro. At 73 downtown, I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. The final hostage from the October 7th attacks is still being looked after by doctors. Fox's Greg Palcott explains.
According to a medical assessment, Edon Alexander is overall stable. That's pretty darn good considering what he has been through. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff met with Alexander. They spoke by phone with President Trump and with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Edon's family has begged off him traveling to see Trump on this Mideast tour, but they look forward to visiting him at the White House. The conditions of his Hamas captivity were described as unbearable. He was left in a cage for periods of time, his hands and feet bound. Burn marks were seen on his arms. He was kept in dark tunnels. Unbearable indeed.
A visit to Saudi Arabia by President Trump. He says he's looking to end past conflicts and create new partnerships in the Middle East. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson from Saudi Arabia.
He was very optimistic, and he talked about the new investments from Saudi Arabia to the tune of $600 billion being invested in the United States. That includes the largest arms sale in history, some $142 billion that will be spread out among over a dozen American companies. Trump and the Crown Prince met with hundreds of business leaders, all the leaders from the Fortune 500, many of them at least. In his speech, Trump spoke about his optimism for the region, which he said had been mishandled by previous administrations.
It's a plan to modernize air traffic control systems at American airports by Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries agrees that the air traffic control system is in need of repair, though he stopped short of endorsing Secretary Duffy's plan.
We need to make sure that our air traffic control system and technology is top-notch and first-rate. And to the extent that there are aging parts of the system, it definitively needs to be corrected.
Air traffic control issues have been on full display in recent weeks, as Newark Liberty International Airport has seen extensive delays and cancellations caused by air traffic control equipment failures. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris in Lawrence, northbound 465, a stall. Blocking the right lane at East 71st Street. This has a slow back to Penn Pike. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic from 106th Street to 82nd. That is a 6-minute delay. Inbound 65 delayed 5 minutes, 29th to Meridian Penn. On the northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic 71st Street up to 86 because of an earlier stall. We had a semi out with a police car at the 865 interchange, and that is gone. Eastbound 70 starting to slow down just a touch from West Street into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms stick with us into our Tuesday night with lows falling into the low 60s. Spotty showers possible through the daytime hours on Wednesday under mostly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So, real quick update here before we move on. Actually did go to the doctor last night to have the leg looked at because I was hobbling around here yesterday looking like Kirk Gibson had just hit a walk-off against the A's. And a doctor called in, and there were some other folks in the YouTube chat. It was like, man, you might want to go get that looked at because that could be a blood clot. And if that's a blood clot, then you are in trouble. So went last night. They did not have the scanning thing ready late last night, so they gave me a blood thinner. Woke up this morning, had an early morning doctor's appointment. I'll show the YouTube chat here. I still have the hospital bracelet on. Forgot to take it off. No clots. We are clot-free.
Wow.
I am not Brad Klottenstein. That is not happening here, but it looks like they're going to put me on some other meds because we got a little circulation issue going on.
Okay, so basically, to recap, you risked your life to come in here today.
I did.
What you're saying. Nigel is on his 8th week of vacation this calendar year, right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, good for you.
Thank you. We got a deal. A little wheeling and dealing with the Saudis. Where are we at with this, Jeff? President Trump and the Saudi Crown Prince signed an economic agreement which will result in over $600 billion in Saudi investments in the United States.
You know, the thing about this whole, people have their panties in a bunch over, I can't believe Trump is in Saudi Arabia talking to these people. You know who's really upset with Trump for trying to find peace in the Middle East? The people who are making tons of money off there not being peace in the Middle East. Because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. He's talking to some people who are bad, I guess you would say, but isn't everybody a little bad? Like when I see them saying, well, how dare he talk to this guy because they sponsored this act that happened over here. And it's like, listen, it's a small world now. Everyone's interconnected. How about we let Trump do what he's doing? Because guess what? It's working out pretty well so far. Let's see what kind of deals he can broker. And then let's see if maybe they can stop blowing each other up. Maybe that would be cool.
So for those of you scoring at home, the side that was in favor of dropping off pallets full of cash to the Iranians are now upset that the Saudis will be spending money in America.
Right.
Okay. Just want to make sure we've got all of our I's dotted and T's crossed here. This deal will strengthen America's energy security, defense industry, and access to global infrastructure. Look, the Saudis got money. You might not like how they get their money. You might not like how they treat their people. I get it. But they're going to spend the money anyway. Wouldn't you rather have $600 billion in the United States as opposed to $600 billion going out of the United States?
Yeah, and it's also, I find it incredibly interesting when people who had to be told not to eat Tide Pods 5 years ago start weighing in on geopolitics today. Like some of the takes that people have on this, they're the terrorists. And you're like, well, explain exactly how. Like how does that relate to this? I wish Trump the best of luck in this deal. And you know what's great? He's doing things like with the China tariffs. It's like, did no one think of that? In the previous administration? Guess what? It's kind of working. How about now? Did no one think of going to Saudi Arabia and saying, hey, let's do some deals. Let's make this work. And oh, by the way, let's cut it out with the endless wars. And who knows? Maybe for the first time ever, some of their people will be like, yeah, we're kind of sick of it too. Our grandparents were all for it, but we're kind of sick of it because of YouTube. We all get to see what you guys do in America and everybody sees, and it's like, we're sick of it. So good for Trump, and I hope it works.
Now, there are some, even Republicans, that are upset that Trump received a gift from Qatar, that $400 million Palace in the Air jet. That was a quote-unquote gift. Absolutely not a bribe to Donald Trump. $400 million. You've even got Ted Cruz going, man, come on. If this were the Biden administration, we'd be ripping them for doing that.
But would we? I mean, it's how much did Ukraine and China give Hunter Biden for his doodles? You know, it's like this money. This is a palpable thing. People can actually see this gift, and it's a beautiful plane that if I understand correctly, and I could be wrong about this, is it a gift to President Trump or a gift to America? It's a gift to America, right? Almost like the...
Correct, but you and I don't get a chance to play with it.
Right, but
Donald Trump does.
He would be able to use it for 3 more years, and then it would go to J.D. Vance or whoever's elected. But, good for them sending it over. I don't care. This doesn't affect me one way or another. It's definitely better than what was happening during the last administration that we didn't know about.
And again, I'd rather be receiving a $400 million gift than giving a $400 million gift. You mentioned this earlier. There's been some good news out of the Trump administration lately, right? You get India and Pakistan to not be so squirrely. You get the economy rolling. The price of eggs are down. Boy, don't tell some of the libs on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram that. Price of eggs are down. There's been some good headlines, but yet you look at CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, you would think we were living in the Great Depression.
Yeah, these the headlines. It's like when the stock market went crazy yesterday. CNN's like, why a booming stock market is really a bad thing. You're like, it's so easy. You know, today they found out inflation slowed down much more than they expected. Definitely much more than last year. MSNBC, falling inflation means rising danger. And it's all of these, and it almost makes you wonder, like, what is something like Hammer? Just come up with some great thing that Trump would do. It could be as outlandish as possible, and I will tell you what the headline would be.
Donald Trump rescues puppy from rising floodwaters.
Okay, CNN headline. Why puppies trapped in rising floodwaters is actually a good thing. You see, it's just basically dice that you roll. How can we the hostage that was freed yesterday, the last American hostage.
Right.
Do we really need to free American hostages? Rolling Stone.
An op-ed in the Rolling Stone.
It's like, what a weird title piece.
All right, let's do this little game again. Trump rescues baby that falls in a well.
Trump rescues baby. Okay. Top 10 positive things about babies following in a well. Reuters.
Baby taken against its will out of the well.
And it's almost like, and they actually also have to, with the stock market is the funniest, because the dude who's in charge of writing headlines at CNN must be worn out. Because in the morning, you're just hoping. You're like, stock market poised to dive. And then at 1 p.m., stock market slightly rebounds. And then at 4 p.m., stock market sets record high. And they're so angry about it. It's our same country that we're in, but they couldn't be more despondent over the positive.
Well, there was the report that came out yesterday. There's a large amount of people in this country, according to a survey, that are embarrassed to be an American, embarrassed to call yourself American. Do yourself a favor. Go through the Brittany Griner experience. The WNBA player, she went overseas to Russia, got busted with some vape cartridges, served some pretty hard time over there before we end up having to trade the Merchant of Death to get Brittany Griner back. But now she stands up for the anthem. I think before every WNBA game, she's like Apollo Creed out there coming down the aisle to fight Yvonne Drago. Living in America comes on. She's got the patriotic shorts on. She has changed her tune, man.
How long was she in prison?
It was over a year.
Really? And that changed her that much? Well, good for her. Right?
And I feel like a lot of people would be this way. You take some of these unhinged freaks that you see on social media, drop them off in China, drop them off in Russia, drop them off in North Korea. Tell me about how oppressed you are as an American then.
Yeah, did you see the video of the white South African refugees who came over here, Trump's giving them asylum? It was like 100 people. And it was really jarring because it's women and children and men as opposed to what we've seen the last 4 years. Those people looked so appreciative. They had tears in their eyes. They had a hand over their heart. Like, basically, thank you for bringing us here.
Right.
As opposed to the millions of people who absolutely hate America yet are here anyway.
The kind of people that are in our country that consider themselves gays for Palestine are the ones that hate America. Get out of your bubble, go somewhere else, and see how that plays out.
Yeah.
I challenge you. Go to the Gaza Strip, wave your rainbow flag, and say, "We support you, gays for Palestine." See how that works out for you. Maybe this America place isn't so bad after all.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Hammer and Nigel here for our good friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. You can join B&W's Premier Club today and stay ahead of all the potential breakdowns, costly repairs. What's great about the Premier Club is that members, you get hooked up with routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts. So if something happens to your system and somebody else wants service, if you are a Premier Club member, you get to cut them in line, baby, and that's what I'm talking about. Call B&W and ask them about joining the Premier Club today, 317-214-0108. That's 214-0108, or go online, bplusw.com. Listen, the weather in Indiana, it's crazy. 1 minute it's 40, the next day it's 912. This is why it's so important to have a company you can trust. Join that Premier Club with B&W and American Standard Heating and Air. They're built to a higher standard. Make sure you tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. 214-0108. 214-0108. B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
If this is the year to build your custom dream home, Joyner Homes is ready to help make your dream come true. They offer the flexibility to build on your own lot, allowing you to build a home in the place you've always envisioned. A dedicated in-house team of experts will guide you through every step, offering unmatched personalization and flexibility. Joyner Homes provides clear and upfront pricing and floor plans to inspire you. There's no time like the present to get in touch with Joyner Homes to talk about your vision and learn more about their building process. Visit joynerhomes.com.
Is your well water pressure low? Tasting a little off? A neglected well can lead to costly repairs, but C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, has you covered with their well cleanout service and 6-point inspection. It's the lowest price of the year, and C&J will even throw in a free well cap to keep out the critters and crud from messing up your well. Your family deserves the purest, safest water straight from your own well. Schedule your well cleanout with C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Zero Res. Get 3 rooms cleaning starting at just $129 plus $75 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141. Book online at zeroresindy.com.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Addiction doesn't just affect one person, it touches everyone around them. That's why Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick created the Supporting Sobriety podcast. It's for the friends and family standing behind, offering hope, guidance, and real talk. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Baer, little birdie told me you're wearing shorts today. Are you wearing shorts today, Matt?
Yes, man. White shorts, in fact.
I don't know if I've ever seen you wearing shorts before.
Oh, there was a time. It was the same pair of shorts every single day, in fact. It was pretty gross.
Are they like short shorts? Are you giving the chicks in the newsroom what they want, or are you going with the full Jalen Rose Fab 5 long baggy ones?
Let's just say the 80s are back.
Yeah!
Okay, got the midriff out and everything, baby.
It's like Magnum PI back there.
Looking at inbound 65 right now. 21st Street, this is a stalled vehicle, left lane closed, traffic stop and go back to MLK. Northeast side Lawrence, northbound 465 at East 71st Street. The right lane is blocked in traffic. Slow back to I-70. Inbound 69, stop and go 106 to 82nd. We had the stall cleared on northbound 65 at the Dogleg in Pike Township. That is gone. So is the traffic. Westbound 70 in Hendricks County. An absolute mess. We are stopped from State Road 267 past State Road 39 because of a full closure of westbound 70 near Little Point Road. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Cloudy skies and 73 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center here at 93 WIBC.
This is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You heard Jeff talk about this a little bit earlier, but coming up after 4, the South Africans seeking asylum have broken MSNBC. They actually broke the network. We've got some audio to back that up here in just a little bit. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is in for Big Nige. I said earlier that if you need a reason to drink tonight, it's Stephen Colbert's birthday, which really just fired you up to go off on a rant about how awful he is.
How much I despise him, yeah.
Man, I feel like we should have a better reason to drink tonight. How about this one? Happy 75th birthday to Stevie Wonder.
Woo!
Stevie Wonder, 75 years old today.
Wow.
So, the fact that Allison is substantially younger than we are, and we are substantially younger than Stevie Wonder is, let's play a little round here. I've got a 7-song Stevie Wonder montage lined up. I've set the over-under on how many of these songs Allison knows at 5.5, Jeff. Are you over or under Allison knowing 6 or 7 Stevie Wonder songs, or 4 or less?
That's a great over-under, 5.5. I'm gonna go over.
Okay. So 6 and 7 cashes the over.
Allison.
These are Stevie Wonder hits. Allison, we're going off the honor system as always.
Of course.
If you've heard of it, just let us know.
All right.
Here we go.
Yes.
Okay. 1 for 1. Classic Stevie.
Yes.
Little Sir Duke. Okay.
Run the table.
2 for 2. Baby.
Oh, of course.
Allison's theme song. 3 for 3.
Yes.
These are bangers, man.
Yep.
4 for 4. All right. This was a wedding cocktail hour favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Signature song, Stevie?
I'd say up there.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I just called to see.
Yes.
There we go. She might run it.
Yes.
7 for 7. She ran the table, baby.
Way to go, Allison.
I had a weird thing in high school for a music appreciation class, and I got obsessed with Stevie Wonder for about a couple weeks, and I did a whole report on him. So I was pretty confident in this one.
I wish you would have done the one of my favorite Stevies is Part-Time Lover.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We left some songs on the table.
I love We Just Run Together, Passion on the Run. I love that song. It's like such a little gem from the 80s.
Did you ever hear the urban legend that Stevie Wonder could really see?
Yes, and I wonder, do you guys believe that?
He backed a car out of a driveway and put it back into a driveway.
Did he? Maybe he could see a little bit.
Anything's possible.
Maybe, but there's a rumor out there that Stevie could see. I'm just saying. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Man, I love the way my brand new Galaxy concrete garage floor looks. Those guys did an amazing job. They were in and out within a day. My old garage floor was dirty and gross and cracked, and their amazing staff came in and within a day made it look brand new. It's not epoxy, by the way. It's better and 4 times stronger. I spend a ton of time out in my garage, and my new Galaxy concrete garage floor is out of this world. Check out their website and see pictures and get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call their office at 317-751-9070.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing. Joining me now is really the head of the whole company. Lance thinks he's the boss, but it's really not. It's Jennifer. You're the proud mother of LD Smith Plumbing, whether you want the job or not. How much fun is it to see those 5-star reviews?
It is the best. We love to review those with the guys. To see their smiling faces and know that we have done such a good job in the field is just priceless. My goal is always to make their day a little bit easier. For any plumbing issue, it's ldsmithplumbing.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our Rhino Shield has been on for 8 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Miss M's annual open house is Saturday. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Saturday only. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill-free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts at the Low T Center for a free consultation and a free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurances accept it. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment right now at the Low T Center. Offer is limited, but book right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
Start her engine by racing into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Express
Promising economic optimism for the Middle East. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. President Trump is in Saudi Arabia, urging the region to pursue economic development rather than what he calls Iran's destructive path. He also signed several economic deals with the Saudi Crown Prince. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson is traveling with the president.
He talked about the success in Saudi Arabia. He says in just 8 short years, he's seen more skyscrapers, more investment. In fact, President Trump and the Saudi Crown Prince agreed on a $600 billion investment in the United States, and that includes the largest arms deal ever, $142 billion. And here's President Trump on why he's so hopeful about the future between the United States and Saudi Arabia.
Before our eyes, a new generation of leaders is transcending the ancient conflicts of tired divisions of the past and forging a future where the Middle East is defined by commerce, not chaos.
President Trump brought up Iran during his remarks.
The president saying Tehran cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. It's day 2 of testimony in the trial of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. He's accused of sex trafficking. Today's one-time girlfriend, Casey Ventura, took the stand. Fox's CB Cotton is in New York City.
Ventura, who is now married with kids and due to give birth soon, testified she was 19 and there was a 17-year age gap when she met Diddy and signed with his record label. She said their relationship turned sexual when she was 21. The pair was in a relationship for a decade. She says at first it was private because Diddy was publicly with someone else and worried about optics. She says the rapper introduced her to freak-offs, which are at the center of the case, according to prosecutors who described them as drug-fueled sex performances with male escorts that Diddy coerced women into having while he watched.
Now, surveillance video made public last year showing Combs beating Ventura at a Los Angeles hotel back in 2016. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Attempts to get around the deportations. Most of the rain is concentrated in the northern parts of the Indy Metro and north of there. Right now it's 73 degrees downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
I'm co-sponsoring the Neighbors Not Enemies Act to repeal the law the Trump administration is effectively using for mass deportation.
Indiana Congressman Andre Carson hosting a webinar today designed to empower immigrants Carson says are being treated unfairly by the Trump administration. He says he's helping fight deportations in court, and the webinar featured attorneys and other experts with info for people who might be affected. Phishing emails began today that appear to be from state agencies telling people they owe back tolls and they need to pay up. You are being warned not to click on those emails and delete them, even if they look official, so your personal info won't be compromised. What may have been a hunting accident temporarily put a man in the hospital Saturday. Another hunter apparently thought 41-year-old Brian Lehman of Napanee was a turkey. That hunter fired his 12-gauge and hit Lehman in the neck and head while he and a 12-year-old were walking to go hunting on some property near Rochester. The child was not hit. Lehman had to be flown to a hospital in South Bend, though. He's out of the hospital now, and conservation officers remind you to always clearly identify your target before shooting. A date night out for one couple turned into something unexpected in Franklin this past Friday. John Herrick explains.
Greg Hurley is a lieutenant with the White River Township Fire Department. He and his wife Mandy were getting pedicures at Crystal Nail Salon in Franklin. Two employees started arguing with each other, and then the male employee kicked the female employee in the head right in front of Greg.
She went flying off her stool over into my wife's chair, into that area, slammed her head into their little filing cabinet with all their supplies in it.
So Greg grabbed the man and put him on the ground and held him there until the cops arrived and arrested him.
Yeah, kind of an odd situation for him.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
The month of May is here, so start your search engines and go to indianaunclaimed.gov to claim your money today. You have cash waiting for you at indianaunclaimed.gov. Right now, the Attorney General's office is reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. This isn't a boat or a car or contents of a storage locker. This is your money, your cash that's actually waiting for you. It could have been a deposit that you forgot you were supposed to get back, or a dividend from a stock. It could have been an insurance claim. There are a whole series of reasons why you have money waiting for you. Well, the Attorney General has those dollars, and you can search it up fast, easy, and free at indianaunclaimed.gov. Victory Lane is just one claim away at indianaunclaimed.gov. Search for yourself, your family, and your business this May. Text my name, Tony, to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov. indianaunclaimed.gov. Now go get your cash.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
Yeah, Chris, we are out in Hendricks County, and westbound 70 is closed after State Road 39, so we are being forced off right now, pushed at State Road 39. If you can make it there, traffic is stopped all the way past State Road 267. I'm bailing out there, or Ronald Reagan Parkway, and heading for US 40. Inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 delayed by 4 minutes, Harding into the south split. Northeast side, northbound 465 at East 71st Street, breakdown blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to I-74, delay of 16 minutes. South side crash on the shoulder. This is southbound 65 before Keystone Avenue. It's on the left shoulder, slowing us down to the south split, but we are moving. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores, your local Staples Stores. Hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms stick with us into our Tuesday night with lows falling into the low 60s. Spotty showers possible through the daytime hours on Wednesday under mostly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Hey, now, my name is Jason Hammer. Former late-night TV writer Jeff Boggs is filling in for Nigel. And, Jeff, I appreciate you being here because I know normally during this time of the day, you're at home binge-watching MSNBC.
Yes, I'm checking in on their thoughts on the world, sure.
You were very shook, dare say broken, when Joy Reid was fired. And I just want to let you know they haven't changed.
Oh.
They are melting down over at MSNBC because of this South African asylum story. Now, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, but give me the Cliff's Notes of what's going on with the South African farmer seeking asylum here.
Well, it seems like there's a bunch of activists in South Africa who chant, "Kill the white farmer." And so, you know, if you are a white farmer in South Africa, that's obviously quite troubling. And so what happened was some of them are like, hey, we need to get out of here before they actually do kill us. President Trump said, come to America. Come 100, 200, 300, come on over to America.
Please farm here.
Please farm here, white South African farmers. So they flew them over here, and there's great video, and it's they look like families. You know, it's husbands and wives and children, and a very orderly line of people walking in. You know, they're not kicking down gates or assaulting anyone.
People who want to work here.
People who don't want to get killed in their homeland and are here to work and to honor our traditions, our laws, I'm guessing.
I haven't seen any MS-13 tattoos yet so far, Jeff.
No, I didn't see any tattoos. And so somehow that video, that little 10-second video, you know, they asked Ilhan Omar, they were like, you know, what do you think of that? And she said, I haven't been this upset since my brother husband forgot our anniversary. So, yeah, they're really upset about this.
So they had a panel discussion on this on MSDNC, as it's dubbed as. And I want you to listen closely to their guest, Richard Stengel. He was part of their panel. He went as far to say is that it's okay if a few of these guys get murdered, but let's not act like they're all being murdered.
So deeply and morally wrong-headed and repulsive. These are the descendants of the people who created the most diabolical system of white supremacy in human history, apartheid. They're not directly responsible for it.
Oh, they're not.
It was a system that actually moved black people off of the arable land. It's taking places away from refugees who are really being crushed by authoritarian governments and military governments, for these folks who have never had anything happen to them. I mean, Trump amazingly called it a genocide, one of the worst lies I've ever heard him say. There's just been a small handful of farmers that have been killed.
Just a few handfuls, Jeff, that's all.
Is it just me, or does that guy really sound like a Dick Stengel? You know, it's like he just sounds like he cries at episodes of Will and Grace or something. It does not sound like an emotionally stable gentleman. He's obviously rattled by white people coming into our country. And so, yeah, that sounds like MSNBC to me, the old MSNBC I used to watch.
Now, both sides of the political aisle, extremists, are pointing out hypocrisy, right? Because on our side, the conservative side, you're looking at these Democrats going, oh, now you hate immigration. Oh, okay, interesting. Meanwhile, the Democrats are on the other side going, hold on. I thought we were all just America first down here. That's why we shut the border up. You're telling me you're going to let these folks come in and get asylum and not these people from Haiti? What's going on here?
Yeah, we're talking 300 white South African farmers. We're not talking about another 6 million gang members from South America. I don't see the correlation at all. And when people say it's hypocrisy, not according to the math.
Speaking of our friends in the leftist media, one of the great butt sniffers of all time, Jake Tapper of CNN. Now, he's not the number one seed of liberal butt sniffers because that is still George Stephanopoulos. But Jake Tapper's close. He actively participated in the cover-up of Joe Biden's cognitive decline, and now he's acting like, I can't believe the media didn't cover this. He's writing a book about it, and he's blaming the White House, and he's blaming the Bidens for fooling the media into thinking that he's fine.
Well, Alex Thompson and I were on the case, as were lots of other reporters, trying to figure out what was going on behind the scenes. But the bottom line is the White House was lying, not only to the press, not only to the public, but they were lying to members of their own cabinet. They were lying to White House staffers. They were lying to Democratic members of Congress, to donors about how bad things had gotten. And in fact, Alex and I started writing this book after the election of 2024, and we spoke with more than 200 people, most of whom, almost all of whom, were Democrats. And almost all of whom wouldn't be honest with us or wouldn't be candid with us until after the election. And then after the election, we found out all of these things that when you looked at what was going on with President Biden at the time, it probably doesn't surprise you the extent to which he was deteriorating. But now we have anecdotes and facts about what was really going on behind the scenes with details that Democrats wouldn't share with us until after Election Day.
You know, I always feel competitive with Jake Tapper. He and I both dated the same woman at one time, different times, but same woman, a lovely woman named Monica. And I believe she said he was a bit of a tool. So I always feel a bit competitive with him.
I feel like she would know her way around him, Jeff. I just got to be honest with you.
Why do you have to go there? Come on. I will say this, though. When you hear Jake Tapper making excuses for not coming out and saying, hey, there may be a problem with Joe Biden, it's embarrassing because he's now going to make money off the cover-up, which is so Washington, D.C. But, yeah, you can't believe a word he said, and it flows into every other aspect of his reporting because what else is he lying about? So no good on him.
I'm no Dr. House here, right?
Sure.
But anybody with a functioning brain and two eyes could see Joe Biden was not okay.
Yeah.
Why do you need the White House to confirm that for you? Did you not see him fall up and down the stairs multiple times? Did you not see him crap his depends on the national stage? Do you not hear him speak gibberish and yell and not make sense? Why do you need Jen Psaki to say, oh, by the way, he's got dementia?
Yeah, there's a really good story that just came out today where they're saying at that fundraiser last year with Julia Roberts, George Clooney, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel for Biden out in L.A., Joe Biden did not recognize George Clooney. So that's on CNN,
He
right?
thought he was somebody there to serve him a drink.
That's on CNN right now. They're reporting it. So come on, you had to have known something.
Hey, boy, go get me a Schlitz. I could see Biden doing that, and by putting boy in there, it goes along with his folksy racism.
Yeah, it's
because
cute.
Nobody had more folksy racism than Joe Biden did.
Grandpa racism.
Okay, we got a situation here. Have you been following this Bill Belichick 24-year-old girlfriend saga about North Carolina football practices?
I have. You know how they say marriage is not 50-50, it's 100-100? For Bill Belichick, it's 75-25. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. So after this disastrous interview, I think it was on 60 Minutes, where his 24-year-old girlfriend kept cutting off the interview and all of these war stories about was she kicked out of practice at Carolina, and then the school's athletic department says, no, she's welcome. North Carolina football has hired a PR firm to deal with all of the black eyes that have come from Bill Belichick's girlfriend. So the university now, which gets taxpayer dollars, it's State University in North Carolina, now has to spend money because Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend is creating a controversy.
Yeah, Bill Belichick is the highest paid state employee in North Carolina. And oh, by the way, North Carolina, a couple weeks late on that hire for the PR director, because I watched that, and we've all been there. I'm sure, Hammer, maybe you've dated some people who you're like, oh, wow, really attractive, but there's some trouble there.
I'm married to one. I have been for 23 years.
Well, come on. There's no trouble there. Crystal's great. But I'm saying maybe there were other, people with some warning signs. This whole thing is disgusting. Even my mom, who doesn't really get into current events a lot, she's like, it's gross, right? And there's something about that age difference. I believe he's 76 and she's 24, and something's not right. Even his family is now, coming out realizing, he has possibly signed over 2 properties to her now, to where she is a real estate mogul worth $8 million. And how much more of that is she going to get before the old man croaks?
And why is she out on the field at practices? Like, okay, if you want to be the side piece to Bill Belichick for whatever reason, be my guest. But why are you out there on the field? I don't see Bill Belichick going to your real estate meetings or going to your runway model things. Thank God almighty he's not. But if you're a college athlete, you're thinking, why is she here, and should I bang her later on tonight? That's what I'd be thinking if I were a football player at UNC.
It's just X's and O's. That's what they talk about, and something's horribly wrong. Now, North Carolina did come out and say, no, she's welcome, at these events. There's not a problem. But North Carolina also has an out coming up, I believe in 10 days, where they could get rid of Bill Belichick for cause. Like, if this is, again, he's the highest paid state employee in all of North Carolina. So you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons. And oh, by the way, they're going to weigh themselves if he ends up going 4-5, 4-6.
Right.
Or it's not worth the trouble. But for right now, I think it's a wait and see.
Be honest. Last thing before we go to Matt Bear's traffic. If you were a in-shape, badass athlete at North Carolina, would you try to hook up with Belichick's girl?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't think so. Not me.
I would.
Okay.
I would.
There we go.
Matt Bear wearing those shorts, I think, could hook up with anybody at this point, couldn't he?
Absolutely. Let me tell you, definitely Bill Belichick's girlfriend, right? Westbound 70. That's what I'm saying. Westbound 70 closed right now at State Road 39 because of a vehicle fire, and traffic is stopped all the way back to State Road 267. This is a full closure, as a lot of traffic on State Road 39, a lot of traffic on US 40 right now, but those could be reroutes for you. Again, that's westbound 70 closed after State Road 39 before Little Point Road because of a vehicle fire. On the northeast side, Lawrence northbound 465 at East 71st Street, right lane blocked because of a stall. Traffic backed up to I-70. Inbound 65 slows 29 to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding Street into the South Split. Northbound 465 stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Rocket. Rocket.com is a single seamless home ownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and even refinance your home. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, Matt, I always knew you were crazy, but in those shorts, I can clearly see your nuts, too.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Whack, whack, whack.
Got some jokes.
73 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Hammer and Nigel here for Bill Demery. Look, one day the stock market's up, the next day it's down. If you're in your 20s or 30s, it's not a big deal. But the older you get, it creates uncertainty in retirement. But imagine when you've invested $200,000 or more and received a 20% upfront bonus on your deposit, plus a return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years, and your money backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. To learn more about it, call our guy, Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120. Get an upfront 20% bonus on your deposit, a return that's averaged 7% a year for the past 10 years, and your money backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. We trust Bill Demery, and you can too. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Summer heat is coming. Will your air conditioner be ready? Don't risk an expensive breakdown. A quick tune-up from B&W catches problems early and keeps your family cool and comfortable. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust B&W. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com today.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
And what is a crisis?
Maybe something you experience so often.
You don't even think it's a crisis.
Anxiety over money.
A stressful relationship.
Concerns about a loved one's mental health.
If you are experiencing thoughts of suicide or mental health or substance use crisis, call or text 988.
It's a listening ear.
And it's a way forward.
For all your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons, Chapman. AC tune-ups right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is This Anything is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. It's a program presented by the Indiana Attorney General's Office. Indiana Unclaimed helping Hoosiers recover $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. See if you've got some money. It's fast, it's easy, it's free. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Jeff Boggs is in for Nige. Is this anything? Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred has just put out a statement saying he has removed Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson and a few other deceased players from baseball's permanently ineligible list, meaning that they are possibly eligible to be into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and others. Is this anything?
Well, I'm sure Pete and his family would have appreciated this while he was still alive. Maybe a little more. It's a bit crass to wait until, I don't know what the rules are, but to wait until the person has passed away doesn't make sense. It is something I think Trump actually probably had a little to do with this. He just talked to the commissioner about this. Here we are a week later, and it happened. So, yeah, it's something man, they should have done this 10 years ago.
This is what baseball does, and it burns my backside. As a Cub fan, Ron Santo was an icon. Third baseman, loved the game. After he retired, he was an iconic broadcaster in the radio booth, and they waited for him to pass away before the Veterans Committee put him in the Hall of Fame. That dude, he would have loved every minute of that. He loved the game of baseball, would run out on the field and click his heels sometimes. You mean to tell me his numbers all of a sudden became Hall of Fame worthy after he passed away? It's just a crappy thing to do.
You know what I hope they do? I hope that they wait till I pass away to send me tickets for going over 55 in the work zone. That would be cool.
Is this anything? A female Amazon delivery driver was caught on 2 security cameras peeing and pooping on some of the packages they dropped off at a house. Here is one of the families talking about the mess they saw.
When I woke up, my husband said he was going to bring me some coffee and a pastry. He went downstairs and was greeted by not only one package, but a second inappropriate, disgusting package, which was essentially like human feces and looked to be urination. I kind of clutched my pearls a little bit because I'm like, really? A second time? It was kind of like, wow, still.
Done anything?
How does she know it was human feces? She sounded so
Oh,
sure.
I could tell the difference between my poop and a dog's.
Really?
Totally, yeah.
Huh, interesting. I don't think I could. A different size of dog, different size of feces. I think it's disgusting. I'm not a fan of this. Although, don't they have that thing, Colorectigard, where they send you a box and you poop in it and you send it back? I would think that would be...
It's like a booby trap for porch pirates, right?
But I assume Amazon probably handles those. It could have been an honest mistake, but yeah, send her to prison.
Man, it seems like only yesterday Amazon had Indianapolis as one of their finalists for that second big North American headquarters. Jeff, I think you were still writing for TV shows at this point, but when this was going on, Nigel and I started a letter writing campaign to Jeff Bezos to try to bring Amazon to Indy, and we wanted to let them know why Indy was better than some of the other cities on their list. Dear Jeff Bezos, thanks so much for making Indianapolis a finalist for your second Amazon headquarters. We think Indy is a great choice, much better than some other cities on your list, like Toronto, where it's probably snowing right now. You know a city sucks when their citizens travel south to visit the tropical paradise that is Detroit. From the awful music of Anne Murray to the gross taste of moose meat, Canada has absolutely nothing to offer. Nothing. And what are you going to do if a security threat happens at your new headquarters? Good luck protecting your 50,000 employees with that mighty Canadian military that features 2 fat guys on a horse and Justin Bieber with a slingshot. And lastly, Toronto thinks they are God's gift to North America. While they may be good at hockey, let's see how those maple-loving Nickelback fans do at NASCAR. Damn right. Thanks for your time. Sincerely, the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Nice.
So we went after Toronto. Is this anything? A woman boarded a flight and then began to eat a whole rotisserie chicken that she brought in her bag.
I just got pulled aside by TSA for having something crazy in my bag, but I told her this is how you give yourself a first-class experience without paying for first class. So let me show you. Okay, cold rotisserie chicken. I gotta get my protein in the flight. I hate buying airport food, so I usually just try to pack like a salad or something. And I didn't have time, so I was like, let me just get like a whole chicken from Whole Foods. And this is gonna hold me over for like the entire day, pretty much.
Ugh, that voice. I mean, the chicken, yes, but that voice with the vocal fray.
That's every TikTok video.
All it, you know, that came from Kardashians, and it drives me crazy that people are still doing that. As far as bringing a rotisserie chicken to eat on a plane, I've heard of worse. Yeah, I've had a gentleman open an egg sandwich next to me. On a long flight, and I didn't like that. Rotisserie chicken, I don't understand. I guess that's a lot of meat for one flight. Rotisserie chicken probably runs, 4.5, 5 pounds of meat and bone.
But it's not like it's a piece of chicken. It's like Jake and Elwood Blues, 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
Right. At some point, do you just bring the chicken on, slaughter it midair, and borrow somebody's lighter? But yeah, that's pretty gross and uncalled for, and I can't believe she got it on.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Gotta love summertime. It's for enjoying outdoor music and vacations, and our pals at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help you save on both. AAA is now the official partner of Ruoff Music Center, and AAA members are going to enjoy some big-time benefits. Early entry into concerts, access to the AAA Premier Lounge. Can't wait to go see Chris Stapleton this summer.
Concerts at Ruoff, always a good time, always a fun time. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members save with access to hotel discounts, rental car discounts, and a lot more, along with complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. So do yourself a favor. Join AAA today. AAA.com, 844-GO-AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
Since we opened our doors, UC Bank has been committed to the communities we call home. Building financial wellness, UC is proud to offer customized lending strategies and innovative resources to our vibrant communities. UC Bank, building community one family, one street, one city at a time. Member FDIC.
Life Church values the hard work it takes to reach and accomplish goals.
We want to congratulate all 2025 graduates and let you know that even though there's many unknowns ahead of you, you can always trust in the Lord.
Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways acknowledge God, and He will make your path straight."
You are beginning a brand new chapter, and we're confident the Lord will lead you every step of the way.
So congratulations on behalf of Life Church. We're really proud of you. LifeChurchIN.com.
Attention Indiana homeowners, are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawlspace? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawlspace and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawlspace right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawlspace water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A felony theft charge for an admitted grave robber. Sprinkles, even some downpours just north of the Indy Metro this afternoon. You have the possibility of more rain here, too. Right now at 73 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. At Oak Lawn Memorial Gardens Monday night, Fishers police were checking out a suspicious vehicle when a man came out of the woods covered in dirt and told them the vehicle was his. When they pushed, 24-year-old graveyard employee Seth Davidson told them he had dug up an urn he knew had a gold ring buried with it. Police say he took them to the ring in the woods and told them he just couldn't stop thinking about the ring. They put stainless steel rings on his wrists and charged him with theft. President Trump's trip to the Middle East, starting with a massive investment from Saudi Arabia. Fox's Peter Ducey is there.
He came in on Air Force One. He talked about how he thought that $600 billion was pretty good, but that he wanted $1 trillion. And then about 4 hours later, that is exactly what the Crown Prince pledged.
In the coming months, we will work on second phase to finalize the remaining agreement to raise them to $1 trillion.
It wasn't just about business deals at this business forum. President Trump talked about how he will soon drop sanctions on Syria on the sidelines of a meeting with Syria's interim president tomorrow to give that country a chance to thrive. He also said that he's going to help Saudi Arabia defend itself from Iran and its proxies.
A world record at Purdue, but the engineering students don't want to stop there. Jarrett Lewis explains.
They call it Purdue's Cube, a robot created by a team of undergrad students in Purdue University's Elmore Family School of Electrical and Computer Engineering, who just broke the Guinness World Record for fastest robot to solve a puzzle cube with a time of 0.103 seconds or 103 milliseconds.
Put it in perspective, a human blink is around 200 to 300 milliseconds, so we're significantly faster than that. Human reaction time is 100 and 200 as well, and so we're faster than that.
One of the team members, Matthew, says they're not satisfied just yet and believe they can top their record-breaking pace with another attempt. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather coming up.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's home improvement season sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
Yeah, Chris, looking at westbound, S70 still shut down in Hendricks County. This is between State Road 39 and Little Boy Road. Traffic is stopped back to State Road 267. Then we are slow halfway to Ronald Reagan Parkway. That would be a good spot to exit Ronald Reagan Parkway and go north to US 40 to reroute. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic from MLK to Meridian Penn. 4-minute delay on eastbound 72, the south split from Harding. Northeast side, northbound 465 at East 71st Street, stall blocking the right lane, causing stop and go traffic back to I-70. Northbound 465 slows on the northwest side from 79th up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Get 30% off all patio furniture. Wicker, Berlin Gardens, Poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms stick with us into our Tuesday night with lows falling into the low 60s. Spotty showers possible through the daytime hours on Wednesday under mostly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Looking up some numbers that have been released. Illegal border crossings, April this year to April last year, year over year, down 95%, Jeff. Wow. 95%. Which, again, and I think Donald Trump said this in one of his speeches, you didn't need a policy change. You need a president change. Because he fixed it in like 3 days. Like the border was basically fixed in his first 3 days as president. So it just goes to show that I don't even think it was incompetence in the last administration. It was intentional that it was left wide open.
It's like people living out on the prairie, and for years they go, we don't know what to do. These wolves keep coming into our house and you know, eating our children and ruining our furniture. And somebody goes, you should shut the door. You should close the door. It'll solve the problem. We just closed the door, and 95% of the problem went away. It's unbelievable it was allowed to go on for 4 years. And, you know, we make jokes about it and everything, but, oh, by the way, a whole lot of people got killed, and we lost a whole lot of money, and it's unforgivable for old Joe Biden.
Even Democrats in swing states, and I think this was part of the undoing as to why he was swept in swing states. And I say Joe Biden, but it was Kamala Harris. It was the Biden policies that were swept in swing states. People didn't realize how much it actually costs to take care of these people. You saw news headlines of, wait a minute. I go to work every day. I pay taxes. I hate Donald Trump. But why do these people get these free gift cards? Why are they getting put up in hotels? Why are they getting put on these flights to go all over the country here? I think that sucks. They finally started to realize that it costs money to be woke.
Well, it also happened with China recently, where we've been talking about the border for a couple months now, and obviously it worked, saying you can't come in anymore. But China, 2 weeks ago, Trump's like, you know what, we're just going to put tariffs on China. Guess what happened? All the Chinese employees started revolting because they weren't getting paid because their economy is teetering on the brink. And it's like, boy, we didn't think of this before. Maybe even out the fairness of the trade between China. So who knows what else Trump's going to be able to do? He's in Saudi Arabia right now. Maybe we do a little peace in the Middle East. Has anybody ever thought of that? So it's exciting. But yeah, the border crossings, wonderful.
Are we making too much of the fact that as of right now, Donald Trump does not have plans to meet with Israel on this trip to the Middle East?
They're our friends. We know them. We don't need to talk to, we don't need to officially meet with them. I think they talk quite frequently, so I'm not worried about that. And
are we overlooking this going, oh, this must mean that he's meeting with Hamas behind Israel's back? Is he upset at Bibi?
No, I don't. And who cares about the optics? It's like people worry so much about the optics. Let's just go results. And if we're seeing our country's president over there talking to their leaders and good comes of it, how can you possibly be upset with that? That's a very un-American take.
Go back to the discussion on swing states. One of the important key swing states is Wisconsin. This brings us to the story that ironically is happening during Police Week. The entire police department in Arcadia, Wisconsin has left or resigned. There are no more police officers in Arcadia, Wisconsin. If there's an issue in Arcadia, you have to call the nearby sheriff's department, and it takes longer for them to get there. And I guess this has been going on in some very small cities around the country for a while now, but this is pretty wild. WEAU in Wisconsin's got the story.
In recent weeks, the police officers down there have all left that agency for other opportunities that are going on, leaving them without any police officers except for an interim police chief. A lot of smaller agencies or law enforcement in general across the board are struggling to keep their employees or find new employees.
But what is unique to Arcadia is that so many left at similar times. The mayor telling us in a statement in part, many departments face staffing shortages or other issues. Ours just happened all at once.
So, long story short here, I know enough police officers to know morale matters. They're willing to take, I don't know if they're willing, but they accept making a little less to like who they're working for, to feel like they're supported by the community, and more importantly, supported by the local elected officials. That's why Indianapolis has had such a hard time, because look who your mayor is. Look who your prosecutor is. These poor officers are going out there every single day arresting the same idiots that Ryan Mears lets back out of the streets. And then, heaven forbid, there's some sort of situation. You've got a mayor in Joe Hogsett who can't wait to throw the officers under the bus because he feels like that's what's best for him politically. And that's how you get 300 officers shy of where you need to be. Now, this is a big city of Indianapolis. Imagine if it's a smaller city and you try pulling that crap, you end up with no police officers.
Yeah, there's got to be a disconnect between the mayor and the police chief, and obviously a coordinated effort to walk off the job. I think you saw this a couple of years ago in Georgia. I think a large police department was like, why bother?
Right. If you're going to blame us for everything that's gone on, like the George Floyd stuff, we didn't step on his neck. That was the Minnesota's police officer. Why are we getting criticized here?
Well, and what's your return? I mean, you're a police officer, guy or girl, and you're trying to support your family, make a living, and the only thing that can happen to you is bad things. It's like, who wants to live like that? You want to be your kid's t-ball coach and, go to church and go out to eat with your wife. And it's like, I understand that. Now I would have to see the city in Wisconsin. It was WEAU. I assume that's Eau Claire, Wisconsin, a smaller town. But listen, if the whole community isn't working together, if the mayor's not supporting the police and the police are supporting the citizens, it doesn't work. And so good for them for walking off and finding other gainful employment.
Day 2 of the Diddy trial taking place in New York. One of Diddy's ex-girlfriends stated that Diddy's freak-off parties lasted for days. She says that the sexual parties became her job and that Diddy introduced voyeurism and fantasy role-playing within the very first year of their relationship, among other things that we've heard in this trial.
Yeah, this is as gross as you get. The more that comes out about this, and the fact that so many people knew this was going on, not only knew, but attended these parties. This goes on for 20 years. He's P. Diddy. He's married to J-Lo. He's best friends with Jay-Z.
Didn't LeBron once have a video saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party"?
Exactly. That's LeBron, who had trouble with Trump's locker room talk from the bus. But he went to Diddy parties, LeBron. This is going to get even more disgusting as it goes on. And it'll be interesting to see who's implicated in this, because P. Diddy's got to be gone. Like, he's going to be, I would assume that's prison for the rest of your life. What I can't wait to see is, how is he going to sing? Is he going to be that guy? Because we don't get it with the Epstein files. We don't have anybody saying anything. Is P. Diddy so famous that he just doesn't care? And he's going to say, well, let me tell you who else was at these parties.
Right.
And some randos start coming up where they're like, let's cut the trial off. Let's cut it off.
Is there a way, and that's interesting, that Diddy could get some sort of plea by ratting out somebody else? But if he's the guy at the top of the food chain, you normally don't do that. Normally you give the low-level people the plea to go get the head of the snake. Well, this appears to be the head of the snake in Diddy. At least we think it is.
Isn't it an interesting, though, kind of juxtaposition with the Diddy trial and the Epstein files? There are similarities, obviously, horrible sexual assault. But, man, here's famous. And over here is stuff we don't really know about. We're assuming people are on this list. Prince Andrew, we're hearing these names. But Diddy, it's just, I think they have pretty clear videos of what was happening there. And one of the ones that I think is going to be the most heartbreaking, and this is all just conjecture on my part, Justin Bieber, was somehow involved in some of this, and you see the dude kind of falling apart in public a little bit. Maybe the weight of the world is starting to, weigh on him. There's going to be a lot of other celebrities. The only one I'm rooting to go to prison for sure is John Legend and his horrible wife. I would like to see that. I would like to see them fry.
I would like to have caller number 9 right now at 239-9393. We got a pair of tickets to Carb Day. Hammer and Nigel broadcasting live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, May 23rd, Carb Day, one of the biggest parties of the year. It's going to be the mother of all Beer Sample Fridays. A fun little game at 239-9393. Caller number 9, 239-9393.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
During much of Indiana's history, communicating on the telephone with the deaf or hard of hearing was nearly impossible.
Friends and loved ones couldn't stay in touch, so the hard of hearing became isolated. Today, those with hearing loss have equal access with a captioned telephone from Relay Indiana and can keep their independence. Relay Indiana allows a caller to read what the other party is saying. This advanced technology keeps Hoosiers connected so that everyone can contribute to Indiana's productive future. Learn more at relayindiana.com.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. And one of their awesome local independent dealers is Kirby Heating and Air in Pittsburgh. They've been in the business well over 3 decades. Lloyd and Jessica Kirby, they're the founders. Just a great, awesome, family-run business. And now their sons, Robert and Adam, they're carrying on the tradition of excellent service, taking pride in their work. Now, Kirby serves Hendricks, but also the surrounding counties. And the reason they chose to install American Standard products? Quality. It's that simple. Make sure that AC is good to go for the summer weather that's coming up. Contact Kirby right now at 317-892-3614 or go online kirbyheating.com. That's 892-3614 or kirbyheating.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Start her engine by racing into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel for that perfect diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
Matt, Claudia in the YouTube chat, I believe she arrived a little late. She just writes, I hear Matt Bear's wearing assless chaps with a question mark.
I love Claudia. She's hilarious. And she's right, too. Westbound 70 at Hendricks County.
All chaps are assless, I believe, aren't they?
Well, I mean, when you're splitting hairs, some of them have it. I can't get it. We're looking at westbound 70 right now in Hendricks County, full closure. And this is after State Road 39 between 39 and Little Point Road, and traffic is stopped for 8 miles. This is well past State Road 267 approaching Ronald Reagan Parkway. That is where you exit if you want to avoid this massive delay right here of 89 minutes. Southbound 65 south side crash before South Keystone Avenue, closing the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic into the south split. This puts eastbound 70 from Harding Street into the south split on a 3-minute delay. That is starting to pick up. Southbound 65, stop and go from MLK to Meridian Penn, a 7-minute delay. On the northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic 79th up to 865. South side, eastbound 465, slow. 31 up to I-74. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week is Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Just something unsettling about Matt Bear saying the phrase splitting hairs while we're talking about him wearing chaps.
Not unsettling to me. I'm okay with it.
I know you are. There's no doubt that you are.
Feeling pretty comfortable right now, to be honest.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Don was caller number 9. Don, how the heck are you?
This is her husband, Greg. I'm going to talk for her. Yeah, I'm going to talk for her. She's got a bad voice.
Oh, okay. Well, so do I. Some people make a very good living out of having a bad voice. All right, Greg.
Not her.
We're going to play a round of racer or pacer, okay? Here's how it's going to work. Here in just a moment, Jeff Boggs is going to give you the name of somebody. It will either be a current member of the IndyCar Series competing to win the 500 or a current member of your Indiana Pacers. They have Game 5 against Cleveland tonight. You get 2 out of 3. We're going to give you the tickets, okay?
Sounds good.
Here we go. Number 1.
Ben Shepherd.
Ben Shepherd, Don. Racer or pacer?
Greg, don't
Racer.
No.
Oh.
Ben Shepherd comes off the bench for your Indiana Pacers. All right.
Number 9.
You still got time.
Next two.
You got to run these
I got
next
the
two. Here we go.
Elio Castroneves.
Elio
That's right.
Castroneves, racer or pacer?
4-time winner of the 500 racer.
All right. It comes down to this, Greg. Get this right. We're going to throw a party.
Obi Toppin.
Obi
I got it.
Toppin.
Pacer.
Yeah!
There
we go! Woo! What a good time!
Go, Brett.
We got Greg, we got Dawn, we got a whole damn party over there. You guys are going to Carb Day. Stay on the line. The lovely Miss Allison will take care of you. All we ask is you stop by the Hammer and Nigel show at Carb Day over by Garage 23 and hang out with us a little bit, okay?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
There you go. Thank you so much. More Carb Day tickets to give away tomorrow and the rest of the week. Do not go anywhere. We got some caller roulette on the way. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
the Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay to stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hammer and Nigel here for our friends at the Low T Center. There has never been a better time to visit a Low T Center than right now. You can get a free, that's right, free medical consultation and a free T test. And the best thing about that, with on-site labs to process your test quickly, if you qualify, you can start treatment that day. Also, the Low T Center, they accept most major health insurance. So don't worry about anything, just make that appointment. And oh, by the way, I know many of you have asked, yes, they have prescription weight loss medication. So if you're looking to drop a few pounds, feel more energetic, get your mojo back just a little bit, start with making an appointment at the Low T Center right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com. Book that appointment. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
The biggest party on dirt is back at Eldora Speedway, July 16th through 19th for the Kings Royal and High Limit Jokers Jackpot. Buy your tickets today at eldoraspeedway.com.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Hey, it's Matt Bear for Conklin Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer for a fresh new look and increased home value. New siding by Conklin Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy fiber cement siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Conklin have all the choices, plus a lifetime workmanship warranty and over 10,000 satisfied customers. For your free estimate, call Conklin Exteriors at 317-ROOFING or visit ConklinExteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Making deals in the Middle East. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. President Trump is there in the Middle East for his first planned overseas trip of this second term. Today he spoke in Saudi Arabia, praised economic partnerships with nations in the region. We send Fox's Lucas Tomlinson to Riyadh.
He was very optimistic, and he talks about the new investments from Saudi Arabia to the tune of $600 billion being invested in the United States. That includes the largest arms sale in history, some $142 billion that will be spread out among over a dozen American companies. Trump and the Crown Prince met with hundreds of business leaders, all the leaders from the Fortune 500, many of them at least. In his speech, Trump spoke about his optimism for the region, which he said had been mishandled by previous administrations.
The president says he may be going to Turkey next for potential peace negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. The last living American hostage in Gaza was released as hopes for ceasefire returned. Fox's Greg Palcott with an update out of Tel Aviv.
Freed American-Israeli Hamas hostage Edon Alexander is enjoying his first full day of freedom after 584 days of captivity. Doctors say he is overall stable, but the conditions he endured were called unbearable. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu sent a delegation to Doha for negotiations about a new ceasefire, but also instructed the IDF to continue and perhaps intensify its operations in Gaza. Some 31 Palestinians were killed and 73 wounded in the Gaza Strip over the past 24 hours, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. In Tel Aviv, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
And Major League Baseball has reinstated Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson, lifting their lifetime bans, making them eligible for the Hall of Fame starting in 2028. Under a new league policy, the move follows a shift in how MLB handles permanent ineligibility. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The congressman versus the president. Most of the rain is concentrated in the northern part of the Indy Metro. Noblesville, Zionsville, Lebanon, all getting some showers. Greenfield even getting a little rain right now. It's 73 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Immigrants, even the illegal ones, are being treated unfairly, says Congressman Andre Carson.
We will need everyone's voice, the voice of the people, to defeat these very extremist and inhumane policies.
Today, he hosted a webinar designed to empower immigrants, encouraging them to get legal help. The webinar featured several attorneys experienced in immigration law with updates on what the courts are saying and on the possible consequences for taking the administration up on its invitation to leave voluntarily. Seth Davidson, a 24-year-old employee of Oak Lawn Memorial Gardens Cemetery in Fishers, is under arrest, charged with digging up an urn last night because he knew it had been buried with a gold ring in it. When police found him, he was covered in dirt, showed them to where he had hidden the ring in the woods near the cemetery, and admitted to a grave mistake, grave robbery. Police thought Isaiah Wilson was near Indianapolis. Instead, the fugitive wanted for the downtown Fort Wayne killing of Kamari Taylor April 13th was caught last night in Jackson, Michigan. That is where he is being held. White River Township Fire Department Lieutenant Greg Hurley stopped an altercation at Crystal Nail Salon in Franklin. John Herrick reports.
Greg and his wife Mandy were at the salon getting pedicures on Friday when they noticed two employees, a man and a woman, yelling at each other. Then Greg says it got worse.
The lady that was on the stool in front of me never looked over and made eye contact, and the next thing I knew, he was on a full sprint from the front of the store, flying through the air, and actually kicked her in the right side of the head.
And that's when Greg stood up and took action.
And I was barefoot, my feet were wet, but somehow I was able to get this guy down. He did fight a little bit, but I was able to kind of put him in a hold.
And he held him until the police arrived and arrested that man on several criminal charges.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Your nose is for breathing. Your mouth is for eating. And if you're breathing through your mouth, it's not because your body wants to. It's because it has to, because your nose isn't working properly. And although you've lived like this, it's no way to live, and it's having a significant impact on your life. I know you know this, and I know that taking action isn't always convenient. But at Advent, we've done all we can to make changing your life for the better as easy as possible. I'm Dr. Mother Kandula. With tens of thousands of our patients, a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, along with a simple 20-minute in-office procedure called balloon sinuplasty, has opened their nasal passages, allowing them to breathe freely through their nose for good. And there's a good chance this procedure can do the same for you. We'll help you breathe through your nose again, and it will change your life.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
Lordy, looking at Hendricks County right now, Chris. It's westbound 70 that has closed between State Road 39 and Little Point Road. That's because of a vehicle fire with traffic stopped for miles to State Road 267. Then we have a little bit of a backup from 267 approaching Ronald Reagan Parkway. Right now, to get through all that delay is at 66 minutes. US 40 has taken on some traffic. Really busy right now going westbound 267 out to Avon Avenue. And again, before State Road 39, all the reroutes look pretty busy right now. We are also looking at southbound 65 before South Keystone Avenue. That's a crash. Left lane block traffic backed up through the south split all the way to the north split. Inbound 65, 5-minute delay, 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 78, 6-minute delay, Harding into the south split. On the north side crash, eastbound 465 after Allisonville Road, 2 left lanes blocked. Traffic stopped to Westfield Boulevard. East side southbound 465 jammed from 70 down to Brookville Road. And then we are stopped from 74 down to Beech Grove. Emerson Avenue, keeping an eye on that. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Services. Water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at IndianaFoundationService.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms stick with us into our Tuesday night, with lows falling into the low 60s. Spotty showers possible through the daytime hours on Wednesday under mostly cloudy skies, with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out. Jeff Boggs, longtime writer for some of your favorite TV programs. He's riding shotgun today. And we're talking about a little wheeling and dealing with these Saudis. Big deal with Saudi Crown Prince. Talking about billions of dollars coming into the United States. And all of a sudden, Jeff, the same people who were upset about everything Donald Trump has done, shockingly, are upset about this too.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that they're upset with Donald Trump about something. There's nothing he could do that they wouldn't be upset by. I'll be the first to admit I don't understand everything that's going on right now in Saudi Arabia. I know it's weird, the pictures you see coming out of there with the the oil paintings on the wall and everyone. I saw today soldiers wearing, the long gowns on horses leading Trump's limousine while they're waving American flags through the streets of Saudi Arabia. Never thought I'd see that.
No, and in typical Trump fashion, when he was introduced to be part of this little coming together of countries in the Middle East here, he walks out on the stage to Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, and the full song plays. It's not like just a little hook. It's like in wrestling when Jey Uso comes out and you hear his music for like 10 minutes. That's the way Trump was when he was getting introduced. It was almost like the 1996 Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, Greenwood's actually pretty big in Saudi Arabia.
I hear that he is. This $600 billion deal is going to help the United States strengthen energy security, the defense industry, and access to global infrastructure. There's some AI in there as well. But again, this is a lot of money coming to the United States. And you might not like how the Saudis get their money, but the fact is they're going to spend it somewhere. If they're going to spend it with the United States.
Yeah, I'd much rather do this than spend $600 billion, studying transgender airplanes in Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? Like something that makes no sense at all. If any of that money can come to fixing the potholes in this city, like I'm talking just a fraction of that money helps this city's potholes, it's a win.
From what I've been told from the City County Council here in Indy, the money will either be spent on keeping the investigation into Joe Hogsett's sexual harassment scandal alive or fixing the potholes. Narrator, neither will happen. So there you go. Miss Allison, I need a little mood music, please.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no
David Hogg out at the DNC. They voted late last night to basically oust the guy that made his claim to fame off of a lie in the Parkland shooting. He claims he was in the school, basically on the front lines as Nicholas Cruz was going classroom to classroom, murdering people. He wasn't even there that day. He's a student, but he wasn't there. But he wants you to think that he was. And he has been kind of a hot mess ever since they put him in this vice presidential role at the DNC. He's been big in trying to kick out some of the establishment folks. He wants Schumer gone. He wants some of the other established Democrats gone because he thinks it's the time for the young guns in the DNC, i.e. the lunatics. Well, listen, I was talking to some friends earlier. Here's what happens. The establishment, whether it's Indiana Republicans or national Democrats, they ain't going down without a fight, and they find a way to win. We all thought Braun and Beckwith would be the ones to counterpunch and get us the property tax we want. The establishment squish in this state had no part of it because they're getting kickbacks on the other side. At a national level, this is kind of a revenge of the nerds for all the old timers here, looking at David Hogg saying, kid, stay in your lane.
Yeah, David Hogg, one of the most punchable faces you've ever seen. Anytime he pops up on screen, you're just like, that dude better be, quick because he's going to get punched in a bar. I don't know if you saw over the weekend. Was it last weekend where Bill Maher just clowned him on his show? The guy has no substance whatsoever to talk about. He's really great when he's surrounded by people who agree with him. But the second he steps out, there's no substance whatsoever. It's interesting because you have the different tiers now of the Democratic Party. You have the Schumers, the Pelosi's, who are trying to hold back the AOCs and the Ilhan Omars. I don't think that third layer of prick David Hogg is going to find a way to get in there. He's a white male, and
there's no room in the Democratic Party for a white male.
He's endlessly unlikable, and it always seemed like a made-up job, almost like assistant to the assistant regional manager, something like that.
Right.
So it never really had any weight to it, but yeah, I think that's a big nothing burger, as they say.
Speaking of the Dems, they're starting to line up for their big 2028 push. Oof. Now, keep in mind, Trump has only been in office like 4 months, but we're already talking about 2028. AOC, she went on this big barnstorming tour with Bernie Sanders where Listen, she's laying the groundwork to run. We can laugh at her. You can talk about how much of an idiot she is, and if she gets on a debate stage against J.D. Vance or Ron DeSantis, it's going to be classic. But she is a fundraising machine. She can bring in money, and have money will travel. I don't think you can laugh at AOC.
Yeah, but how different is that than Kamala Harris? I mean, I went through Kamala Harris in California for years, and it's like she just was not popular in her own state. You know, she came in last in the primary in her own state. She had to drop out until she was put into the presidency. We were talking about Amazon earlier. Ask all those people in her district how they feel about AOC getting rid of the Amazon deal that would have brought 20,000 jobs just to that little part of New York, billions of dollars. And because she had a problem with it, they didn't get it. She's not popular in her own district right now. I don't think she has national appeal other than the fact that she's kind of good looking.
If she hitches her wagon with Bernie, where this time Bernie's not the main guy, he's kind of in that little passenger seat as the vice presidential candidate. Again, he's wacky, he's a kook, but there's a lot of people that love that old goat, and they can bring in some cash.
I rarely give Gen Z credit, but I will say, if you simply look at the numbers, I think they're starting to see through this whole Bernie Sanders talking about, you know, well, the world's going to end. We need to cut out fossil fuels as he boards another private jet. That really hurts him. I don't think people, you got to remember, Bernie Sanders got kicked out of a commune because he refused to work. And I think kids in Gen Z now are like, even we've had enough. You know, we've had enough of old Bernie.
We felt the burn.
Yeah, exactly. The guy dropped out of 2 presidential elections that he was winning in exchange for houses. It's just not the everyman.
Now, you've lived in California. Gavin Newsom, he's trying so hard right now to distance himself from the radical left, which he was the darling of for a while, but he saw the ass whipping that took place in the election, and now he's trying to do podcasts with Charlie Kirk and, you know, talk to Sean Hannity and, you know, do debates with Ron DeSantis. Where are we at with Gavin?
Trump said the other day, he just one of his many hilarious kind of flippant remarks the other day, he goes, "Oh, I hope he runs. I hope he runs." Because, again, the guy, all you have to do is put up the picture of him eating at the French Laundry with his buddies and no masks on. This is while we could not go into the grocery store. You know,
you couldn't go to a funeral.
Yeah, it was a friend of mine had a bar restaurant out there in Sherman Oaks, and they made her close it down because it was, you know, violation of certain COVID codes, while an NBC show in the parking lot was feeding its staff under tents. Like this is how angry people are with Gavin Newsom. Their problem is they don't have that one person who has national appeal. You know, they get on TV a lot, and you're going to see them on all the shows. They just don't do well with young voters.
What about Pete Buttigieg? Because I feel like we're heading down to a Pete Buttigieg v. AOC type of head-to-head collision here for the right to lose to J.D. Vance.
Well, another hilarious Trump flippant remark from last week was, you know, I hate to say it, but he does ride to work with his husband on the back of his bike. I don't think Pete Buttigieg does well in the South. And you can talk about it all you want, but I don't think that gay gentleman does well in the South, and it comes down to votes. Something crazy.
But he does well, I think, in swing states, right? Because most of the South goes with the Republicans anyway. How's he going to do in Michigan, Wisconsin, those types of states?
Yeah, but take your base. I mean, take your base level. You know, your Democratic candidate is going to get 47% of the vote. Your Republican candidate is going to get 47% of the vote. That's 6%. In the middle, I just don't see those people swinging to Pete Buttigieg, not because he's gay, but because he's a horrible politician.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's this media darling because Seth Meyers put him on his late night show when he was just the mayor of South Bend because he's charismatic, he served in the military, and he's gay. But when you look at what he actually did or didn't do as the mayor of South Bend, I mean, the roads were awful. There was a racial scandal in South Bend, and yet somehow he has become like the darling. And don't forget, he did win the Iowa caucuses the year that he ran. He ran the first 2 primaries before he ran out of money and then was voluntold to drop out for Joe Biden.
Right, but while he was in his last job, we had boats running into bridges. And, it turns out that our entire flight control system across America is dead. So there are issues.
And when you put yourself out there to be the nominee, those issues will come out. At least they should come out.
Yeah.
I don't remember too many national media folks bringing those out about Pete Buttigieg when he ran the first time. We'll see what happens here. Hey, Matt Bear, how are you?
Well, Hammer, westbound 70 is not. We are closed between State Road 39 and Little Point Road. That is because of a vehicle fire, and the delay is awful. 72 minutes past State Road 267. That's what you're looking at, and the reroutes look pretty stuffed as well in parts of westbound US 40, not to mention northbound 39. If you're in a semi, plan to reroute on 40 going all the way to US 231. Got some help on that. Thank you. Looking at the south side, crash westbound 465 at Emerson Avenue. 2 left lanes block traffic. Stopped all the way to I-70. That's a hell of a delay going southbound 465 on the east side. Inbound 65, stop-and-go traffic, MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 jammed after Tibbs Avenue into the south split. North side serious crash, somebody into the guardrail. Eastbound 465 after Allisonville Road. And 2 left lanes are blocked. Traffic stop to Meridian for a 30-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Speedway. Stop at Speedway and grab any size Big Gulp for just 89 cents with Speedy Rewards. Summer is calling. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now we got cloudy skies at 74 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And we need about, 30 more people to go to the YouTube feed and give us a thumbs up and click like. If you're tired of Nigel taking all these vacation days, and if you really, really hate all of us, but you love Allison, that's okay too. Show it by giving us a thumbs up, by giving us a like on the YouTube page. Look for WIBC's channel. Give us a like. Help us get to 100. We're going to play a fun round of Are You Okay With This next.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
Hammer and Nigel here for our guy, our retirement guy, Bill Demery. So 1 minute the stock market's up, 1 minute the stock market's down. You just got to be chill, okay? Ride this thing out. I know these things can be tricky and complicated to understand, but what's great about Bill Demery is he can break things down for you in a way that makes sense. When you're talking about your retirement money, when you're talking about the crazy ways of the market, it can be pretty intimidating, but Bill Demery will sit you down with a free consultation and make it all make sense. I know this because he did it with me. I sat down with Bill Demery. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and you would like to get a 20% upfront bonus on your deposit and a return that's averaged 7% a year for the past decade, and oh, by the way, backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world, call Bill Demery today. At least set up a conversation. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy here in Indy, 317-648-5120.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and the past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Millions of illegal aliens crossed our southern border under Biden administration policies. But now, things are changing. This is your Congressman, Jefferson Shreve. I'm committed to securing our borders and to protecting our Hoosier communities. I'm delivering for you. Because of Republican leadership, illegal border crossings are at an all-time low. I'm leading the charge to complete the southern border wall and deport illegal aliens. I'm fighting for Indiana and working for you in Congress.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Saturday is the Sundown Gardens Spring Open House. Save 20% off everything in stock, excluding labor. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
So, normally, this is the section of the program where Nigel hosts and runs stories by me. But I want to get Jeff Boggs in the mix here. Ooh. So, Allison's going to host, and we'll both answer these questions. Is that cool, Jeff?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. The networks and streaming companies, they're releasing their fall lineups, and among them, Prime is doing a reboot of American Gladiators, and the host is going to be WWE star The Miz. Are you okay with this?
I think I'm okay with this. Like, I've accepted that everything is a reboot at this point because nobody has any fresh ideas. Well, except for Jeff, but that's a separate story. But if you're going to reboot American Gladiators, I think this is the perfect guy to host it. The Miz, if you don't watch wrestling, you may remember him from one of the early The Real World seasons. Yeah. Which, by the way, hat tip to The Real World. You've produced The Miz, you've produced the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, and his wife, who is a Fox News host, Rachel Campos Duffy. All came from different seasons of The Real World.
And Puck. Don't forget Puck.
And there was Puck, too. American Gladiators, if you don't remember, these big, buff, steroid-induced monsters were competing against contestants in a series of games, and it was popular in, like, the late 80s, but it had a short shelf life. They're trying to bring it back. I think I'm all right with it.
You know, the thing that bothers me the most is what are pitch meetings like now in Hollywood? People, you go into pitch and you're like, we do American Gladiators again. Is that the pitch?
It's Porky's, but with cats.
Yeah, it's like,
oh, okay.
It's like how do you pitch a new Jurassic Park movie? Everything starts off great, and then the dinosaurs get a little squirrely.
Uh-oh.
You know, and so, I mean...
but it's totally different than the other movies.
Yeah, the first one made us think. this version's going to make us feel. I'm fine with it. I think American Gladiators was a groundbreaking show at the time, and they'll do it on a bigger scale, especially if it's on Amazon. So, yeah, I think it'll be cool.
An all-pro offensive lineman from the Philadelphia Eagles, Jordan Mailata, he had the courage to sing Tennessee Whiskey in front of the Chris Stapleton.
Tennessee whiskey, you're as sweet strawberry wine.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Shooting his shot, right? What did Jordan or Wayne Gretzky once say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take here. And this was a guy, Jordan Mailata of the Eagles. It's not like he's just some special teams dude. He's an all-pro offensive lineman. And a number of years ago, they recorded him singing that same song when they had a rookie talent show. A lot of these teams do that kind of thing in training camp, and he went up there and rocked the house. So you see the dude whose song you sing, I feel like you got to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I used to produce a country music show called Nashville Star. I've had 50,000 people audition for me singing songs. I can tell from that 1 10-minute clip, he has a really good voice. Like, he actually has great control, a deep, a thick voice. Do you remember, I think it was 2002, maybe 2003, where Monday Night Football, their whole halftime show was football players singing a la American Idol. Like, they tried that. I remember Doug Flutie was one of them.
Yes.
And it just went horribly wrong because it's a great idea once, but for an entire season, it didn't quite work. That dude right there, good for him. He should be playing for the Titans. He could get down on Broadway and make a living.
I think what you're saying, Jeff, is that you're ready for great moments in NFL players singing history.
Yes.
Here is Aiden Hutchinson, the big badass defensive end for the Detroit Lions. In Hard Knocks a couple years ago when he was a rookie, he had to do the rookie talent show, and he performed Billie Jean in front of the entire team. And at first, it wasn't going over well, but by the end, he had won over the team.
People always told me.
He won him over. Then we go back to the 80s. I think the trend that started a lot of this stuff, the Super Bowl shuffle. Here's a little excerpt from The Fridge.
You're looking at the fridge, I'm the rookie. I may be large, but I'm no dumb cookie. You see me hit, you see me run. When I kick and pass, we'll have more fun. I can dance, you will see. The others, they all learn from me. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
Now, when the Bears did it, it was cool because they were really good. They were charismatic. They were just beating the crap out of everybody. But it started a bunch of copycats, Jeff. And this brings us to the crown jewel of great moments in NFL players singing, a very jerry-curled Eric Dickerson and your 1986 LA Rams performing the very sexually provocative Ram It.
The guys call me Dick instead of Dickerson. I lead the Rangers, I'm the Rams top gun. They say I'm as smooth as a runner can be. Even sweetness and the others are talking about me. I like to dance and have a lot of fun. When it comes to ladies, want a brainy one. But enough about me, we'll hit a ram it, you see. If you ram it just right, you can ram it all night.
You hear that, Allison? They're going to ram it.
I heard it.
I think Luke Bryan covered this, right?
Stop it! Stop it! I don't know why, but Matt Baer back there has a white man overbite. He's just really getting
He's
into that.
dancing like crazy. I see him.
I can't stop laughing at this.
Caller number 9. I'm sorry, not caller number 9. Any caller. We're going to do caller roulette. You could be caller number 1. You could be caller number 15. I do not care. Whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about the Middle East deal, if you still want to talk about property taxes, if you want to take a run at producer Allison, you can do all of that. We're going to open up the phone lines right now. 239-9393. All we ask is you keep it clean, you keep it brief. Allison, make sure we've got the dump button hopefully working this time because had a little issue with that earlier in the week. But whatever you want, let's rock and roll. Caller roulette, 239-9393. That's next.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An economic indicator to the positive, perhaps. You've got showers and a few storms, mostly in the northern part of the Indy Metro and north of that, but you also have some storms that are right now parallel to Pendleton Pike at McCordsville and Fortville and headed toward Fishers. 72 is the current temperature on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. The real estate market in Indianapolis has improved in the last month, meaning you might have better choices, says Dan Brown, a real estate broker with FC Tucker, talking to our news gathering partners at Wish TV.
So prices are up a little bit, but the inventory that we have to choose from is up substantially, and with that, obviously, new contracts. You know, March to April, we're supposed to pick up steam, but we're 10% ahead of last April.
While real estate is up, eggs are down, dropping in price nearly 13% in the last month. The average price for a dozen now, $3.30. Watch out for the phishing emails. The Indiana Office of Technology says people are getting those emails saying you owe back tolls and may face consequences. The real consequences come if you open the email you're being warned to ignore and delete. President Donald Trump successfully negotiating for $1 trillion investment in the U.S. from Saudi Arabia. In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Fox's Peter Ducey explains how the deal went down.
Shortly after landing on Air Force One, he was sitting beside Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince, and he told him that $600 billion in investment in the United States is good, but that he would like to get him to $1 trillion. And then about 4 hours later, that's exactly what MBS promised. But it wasn't just about business deals. President Trump also told the crowd that he would help defend Saudi Arabia from Iran and their proxies that have been focusing primarily on attacking shipping routes in the area. And he promised that he is going to do whatever he can with diplomacy to prevent Iran from ever getting a nuclear weapon.
Negotiations are still happening with Iran. They say their nuclear program is peaceful and that they do not desire a nuclear weapon. Matt Bear with a look at what's happening on the roads this afternoon.
All right, Chris, Hendricks County westbound 70 still shut down between State Road 39 and Little Point Road. That's because of a vehicle fire. Traffic right now, we're getting pushed to State Road 39. Traffic stopped almost to State Road 267. You'll need to reroute, maybe starting at 267. If you're semi, you can take westbound 40 down to US 231. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic. MLK to Meridian Penn for a 9-minute delay. On the south side, crash westbound 465 at Emerson Avenue. This has a stopped all the way back to I-74, delay over an hour. Eastbound 465 crash after Allisonville Road, and this is blocking the left lane, stopping traffic to Meridian Street. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Scattered showers and storms stick with us into our Tuesday night with lows falling into the low 60s. Spotty showers possible through the daytime hours on Wednesday under mostly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Buckle up. Anything can happen here.
Oh, hell yeah. Let it ride. Let it ride.
Hammer and Nigel present Caller Roulette.
1 week from today, I hope when I'm hearing Highway to Hell, we're celebrating the death of Benjamin Ritchie. I hope that happens. And I'll be in Nashville watching AC/DC perform it. It's going to have extra meaning for me if the state executes that little punk you-know-what between now and then. But I digress. In the meantime, we do a thing called Caller Roulette, where responsible radio shows, they have their producer screen out your call. They coach you up. They ask what you want to talk about. We find out your name, the topic. All I ask for is a name, and then Jeff and I are going to fly blind and just take these phone calls. I have no idea what these people want to talk about. They may hate my guts. They may wish death upon me. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Allison, is the dump button ready? All right, here we go. Justin, you're up first. Welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I want to talk about me. Want to talk about I want to talk about
number one, baby, my.
Little Toby
what
Keith.
I think, what I like, what I know, what I want, what I see.
I like talking about you, usually.
It's like we've got an NFL rookie talent show going on right now. We need Aiden
I want to
Hutchinson.
give a shout out to my beautiful wife, though, Priscilla. She does everything for me and my 3 kids, and she's the best woman alive. Thank you.
There we go, man. I love that.
What a start.
Right. Normally it's, Hammer, your back fat makes me throw up. But now we got Justin up here breaking out some Toby Keith, talking about his family. I'm good with that. Roberts, or maybe it's French. Maybe he's Robert. Welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello.
I am good, man. Is this Trace Adkins?
No, not quite. Thank you, though. Hammer, I'm calling to see if you would like to be my campaign manager because I am going to run for the District 28 House of Representatives seat to try and unseat the 20-plus year incumbent and try and actually make a difference in Indiana property tax reform.
I tell you what, I will be an uncredited, unpaid advisor. I'm not allowed to take money for that because I'd have to give up my radio job, but I'm down to help you, man.
Well, that's why I'm asking you to do it, so you give up your radio job.
Boom.
There we go.
Roasted.
Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking.
No, seriously, I am filing for candidacy, and I am looking for. I reached out to Kendall, but he blew me off like I was some kind of dead-headed dandelion. So definitely looking to get some momentum going and try and make a difference for the Hoosier people.
Well, if you ever want to get Rob Kendall's attention, make sure you mention how much you love Rob Kendall in the first 3 seconds of the email, because then you've got his attention. Other than that, yeah, man, shoot us an email over here, hammerandnigel@wibc.com. I'll give you some talking points, and good luck, man. We need more people like you to go out there and challenge these folks.
Is this off to the best start ever for Chat Roulette? 2 calls from 2 smart people with 2 actual comments.
Right.
What could go wrong?
Like in the past, we've had people just call up and grunt for 5 seconds.
Right.
Jeremy is up next. Jeremy, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
What's up, Jeremy?
I would like to say that when you do see AC/DC, hopefully you'll get to see what I witnessed, where Angus did about a 4-minute guitar solo riding a giant security guard's shoulders around it was Pepsi Coliseum at the time.
Oh,
it was
man.
a good time.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Down in Music City next week, we got the Ray Hall event on Monday, and then hopefully in the overnight hours, we're killing Benjamin Ritchie, and then the AC/DC concert. It's a big week. It's also race week, so right on. Thank you, Jeremy. Jim is up next. Jim, rock and roll. What you got?
Hey, Hammer, I'm very disappointed in you. You had 2 opportunities recently with news stories. One was a police officer walking a deer out of the YMCA. You missed on that. Where was the fireman and the Indian?
Yeah, I swing and a miss, man. Sometimes a fastball gets by me once in a while, but it would have given us a chance to do great moments in deers trying to escape things history. You're right.
Then you had yesterday about injuring your crotch, the gym that got closed down. They reopened it as the Nutter Center.
Oh.
Thank you for that, Jim. Let's go to Troy. Troy, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. What you got for us, Troy?
Beer, beer, beer. I'm gonna drink some beer.
Thank you, Troy. This is what I love about Caller Roulette. Like, I think you jinxed it a little bit earlier.
I may have.
Because you know me, I'm a super superstitious dude. Like, when you started talking Pacers and Knicks earlier, I was getting the shakes.
Right.
It's like getting a little squirrely. I don't like that. I am a reverse jinx guy. I talk about things so negatively that only positive things can happen.
It's volatile right now. We started off high. There's been a dip. and let's skyrocket here at the end.
We can, but to be fair, I do love the beer, beer, beer song.
I do too.
The only thing we're missing is Nigel's mom on the other end being pranked. Let's go to Vanessa. It's a lady.
Oh.
Vanessa, how are you?
That was quick. I wasn't ready. Okay.
I've heard that before.
Well, if I had $1 for every time someone said that to me, Vanessa, I'd be a rich man.
I would love to be calling about a happy joy thing because that's who I am. But I need to really just tell you about something really important that's coming up May the 27th at Mount Vernon High School, 6:30. You guys may have already talked about it or heard about it. It's a meeting in Hancock County. We're looking at a data center trying to go up and against right up against a 95-year-old established apple orchard, Tuttle's Orchard, and we need people there that will back us up and will.
What's the date and the time, Vanessa? What date, what time, what location?
This is May 27th. This is at Mount Vernon High School, 6:30, and it's super important that we've got the people there back in this business. They've been there 95 years, and this data center will be the ruin of them. So,
all right, Hammer and Nigel Nation, show up and tailgate that thing. Get the hibachis out, get the grills, get a kegger out there, get the beer dispensing helmet. Let's make this thing happen. Mark is up next. Mark, what you got?
Hey, I was wondering if you two could help me do a citizen's arrest on the Indiana legislature for theft. All the money they took from my pocket for Senate Bill 1. I mean, like, I got like a 2.3% COLA in my Social Security, but hell, my property taxes, everything got about 10%. So I'm looking for some citizen arrests to go on here with the legislature in Indiana.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll just start arresting people.
Citizens arrest! Man, I love, though, the anger of the voting base. And it kind of goes back to that earlier caller who wants to run for office because he's tired of the establishment rhino squish that keep getting voted into office and keep screwing you. Like, that has to end. People have to get out in your local elections, in your primaries. You got to get registered for that stuff. I say vote everybody out at this point, other than a few fighters, right? Andrew Ireland was a fighter for us when it comes to property taxes, a few others. But man, everybody else at this point, it's tough to justify sending them back. Let me go to Bob. Bob, you get the last word here. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, unfortunately, they waited until he had passed away, but the commissioner of baseball has lifted the lifetime ban on Peter Edward Rose. 4,256 hits. A baseball player could play 20 seasons and get 200 hits every year, and you're still not going to catch 4,256. So Pete Rose will eventually be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. And shoeless Joe Jackson will probably go lockstep with Pete Rose, also had the ban lifted. And Jeff, let me ask you this, because you're going to hear a lot of people on the other side say, all right, if you're going to put Pete Rose in, if you're going to put shoeless Joe in, then what about Barry Bonds? What about the steroid abusers? What about those guys that played in the late 90s, early 2000s?
What about Kurt Schlichter? What about, Mark McGwire, all those people. I think at some point you got to let everybody in. I mean, Barry Bonds did enough drugs to kill a small horse, but he sure hit the ball a long ways.
Right.
So get him in there.
As of right now, the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame does not have the all-time home run leader and does not have the all-time hit leader in it.
Yeah.
Then are you really a Hall of Fame? Like, I don't like what Barry Bonds did either. I'll always view Hank Aaron as the all-time home run leader. But, man, put an asterisk on there. Just say played in the steroid era or something. A lot of these dudes would probably be willing to accept that.
I think so. And again, for Pete Rose, we talked about it earlier. What a bunch of jerks waiting until he passed away. It's like, let's never do that again. Let's fix it 20 years ago and then let the man enjoy his reward. So
good run of calls right there.
Nice
I
job.
like that. Good job. That is how you do a caller roulette.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Landretti. When you hit the pump, make a better choice for your wallet and the environment. Fuel up with an Indiana corn ethanol blend. Unleaded 88 contains up to 15% ethanol and can be used in virtually every car, while that yellow cap or Flex Fuel logo means you can grab the E85 pump. No matter which one you choose, you are lowering the greenhouse gas emissions and your bill to fill. So next time you get to empty, choose an ethanol blend for your refill. Find a station at incornandsoy.org/ethanol. This message is brought to you by Indiana's corn farmers and their checkoff.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Race into Pierce Jewelers in Carmel and make a pit stop to purchase that unique diamond engagement ring that will put you in the winner's circle. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh out loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce, just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Matthew McConaughey, what's going on?
Right. Yeah, we're looking at westbound 70 in Hendricks County, and we still have this full closure because of the vehicle fire between State Road 39 and Little Point Road. All lanes of westbound 70 are enclosed. Traffic stopped back to State Road 267. The reroutes are really busy as well. Now, here's the deal on the southeast side crash. All lanes open westbound 465 at Emerson Avenue, but traffic is still stopped on the east side southbound 465 from 70 to 74. The front of that traffic has cleared out, and hopefully you will too before too long here. Northbound 65 south side crash at Raymond Street, blocking 2 left lanes, slowing traffic back to 465. North side eastbound 465 crash after Keystone Avenue, left lane block stopped back to Meridian. Eastbound 70 jammed up from Belmont into the south split, 9-minute delay. Inbound 65 stop and go 21st north split. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their great selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon grills, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Could see some rain tomorrow. Could see some rain tonight. But it looks like Thursday is our best chance for some action when it comes to severe weather. We'll keep you up to date on that as the week goes on. 74 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Day one of practice out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway earlier today. And Jeff, I love this. I love the sponsorship here. IndyCar driver Felix Rosenquist. His main sponsor is Sirius Satellite Radio. So this year, they decided to take an artist that you might hear on Sirius Satellite and decorate his car for the Indy 500. Making his way around the track with a Creed race car will be Felix Rosenquist.
Wow. With the clutch wide open.
Can you take me higher?
Is that horrible or is it awesome?
I think it's kind of awesome. I'm not going to lie.
Right?
I
mean,
think
it's
cool.
It's not Nickelback.
Right.
You know, it's Creed, and I'm starting to turn almost back to kind of cool.
Top stories next.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS. Moss